down in South America. And he tried to do it, and then at the last moment, I was sort of set my mind mentally to do something.
Bob Dylan is a famous American singer, songwriter, visual artist, author, poet, guitarist, musician, peace activist, and record producer. This man is considered one of the greatest songwriters of all time and has been a major figure in popular culture for over 50 years. The singer has published 8 books of drawings and paintings and has sold more than 100 million records globally, which makes him one of the best-selling music artists in the world. Bob has won 10 Grammy Awards, 1 Academy Award, 1 Golden Globe Award, and the Presidential Medal of Freedom. Moreover, this man has received stars on the Songwriters Hall of Fame, Nashville Songwriters Hall of Fame, and Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. In 2016, Bob won the Nobel Prize in Literature.
In France, we had mostly French audiences, and then in Spain, we had a lot of Spanish audiences. In Germany, there were German audiences.
If you enjoy these videos, please remember to hit the like button, as it does help us out a lot. And comment below who your favorite celebrity is that you'd love to see in an upcoming video. His full name is Robert Allen Zimmerman, but is also known as Bob Dylan, Blind Boy Grunt, Bobby, The Brad, the Voice of Protest, the Voice of a Generation, Zimbo, Zimmy, Shabtai Zeisel Ben Avraham, Elston Gunn, Bob Landy, Robert Milkwood Thomas, Tatum Porterhouse, Lucky Wilbury. He was born May 24, 1941 in Duluth, Minnesota, United States, making him 79 at the time of this production. He stands 1.71 meters or 5 feet 7 inches tall. Let me tell you that this singer often wears a hoodie or a blonde wig when out in public so people can't recognize him. During his childhood, he and his family were part of a Jewish community. The singer had his bar mitzvah in 1954. In 1971, Bob visited Israel and met Rabbi Meir Kahan. Let me tell you that Meir founded the Jewish Defense League. Bob later converted to Christianity. The singer legally changed his name to Bob Dylan back in 1962. During the 1960s, he started dating Susie Rotolo. The pair broke up in 1964, and later Bob started dating Joan Baez. They'd first met in 1961. In 1963, she invited Bob to join her on stage at the Newport Folk Festival. They started dating in 1965, however, they broke up within a few months. In November 1965, Bob married Sarah Lowndes. The couple welcomed their first child on January 6, 1966, who was named Jesse Byron Dillon. In 1967, their second child, Anna Lee, was born. The next year, the couple welcomed their third child named Samuel Isaac Abram. In 1969, their fourth child, Jacob Luke, was born. Moreover, Bob adopted Sarah's daughter, Maria Lowndes, who was born in 1961. In 1977, Bob and Sarah got divorced, and Bob married Carolyn Dennis in 1986. Their daughter, Desiree Gabriel Dennis Dylan, was born in 1986, and the pair divorced in 1992.
To be old, you know, and at this, a lot of people, when they get to be in this age group, it's harder for them to get out of the house.
He was born to Abram Zimmerman and Beatrice Beatty Stone. The singer was raised in Hibbing in Minnesota, and his paternal grandparents emigrated from Odessa in the Russian Empire to the U.S. On the other hand, his maternal grandparents were Lithuanian Jews who came to the U.S. in 1902. Bob wrote in his autobiography titled Chronicles Volume 1 that the family of his paternal grandmother was from Kars province in northeastern Turkey. Bob's family lived in Duluth until he was 6 years old. Later, his father contracted polio, and the family moved to Hibbing. Bob's father, along with his paternal uncles, ran a furniture store. During his childhood, Bob listened to blues and country stations, and later, during his teen years, he listened to rock and roll. He attended Hibbing High School and formed several bands while Bob was still in high school. Then in 1959, this famous singer moved to Minneapolis, where he attended the University of Minnesota. He started performing at the 10 O'Clock Scholar. In 1960, Bob dropped out of college. In 1961, the singer went to New York City to pursue a career in music. He started playing at clubs around Greenwich Village and also became friends with Odetta, Fred Neil, Dave Van Ronk, and the Clancy Brothers and Tommy Makem. Later, he was signed to Columbia Records, and Bob's first album, titled Bob Dylan, was released in 1962. The album sold 5,000 copies in the first year. During this year, the singer made two significant career moves. Bob changed his name to Bob Dylan and signed a management deal with Albert Grossman, who remained the manager of this singer until 1970. From December 1962 to January 1963, he made his first trip to the UK. In 1963, Bob released his second album titled The Freewheelin' Bob Dylan. Let me tell you that this album was a massive hit in the United States as well as in the United Kingdom. Over the 1960s, this man became immensely famous as a singer and songwriter. In 1965, Bob released a single titled Like a Rolling Stone, which topped the UK charts. During the 1970s, the singer ventured into films and played the lead character of the Western drama Pat Garrett and Billy the Kid, which was released in 1973. During the 1980s, he released some of the biggest albums of his career, including Oh Mercy, Knocked Out Loaded, and Infidels. Although Bob continued performing throughout the 1990s, he was no longer among the top singers. However, after releasing an album titled Time Out of Mind in 1997, he again became one of the top musicians and also won 3 Grammy Awards for this album. The singer continued releasing albums, touring, and performing live shows during the 2000s. Then, in 2012, he released an album titled Tempest. In 2014, he was seen in a commercial for the Chrysler 200 car, which was screened during the Super Bowl American football game. Last year, the famous singer released a 17-minute track titled Murder Most Foul on his YouTube channel, which topped the Billboard Rock Digital Song Sales chart.
It's true to an extent, but, you go to you say, oh, it was all gospel. Oh, so the crowd booed and walked out. This wasn't true.
Bob has earned millions of dollars from music. Back in 1962, he earned $60,000 from the album titled Bob Dylan. The next year, this famous singer released the album titled The Freewheelin' and earned $1.1 million from this album. In 1964, the singer made more than $6 million from his various albums. Bob made more than $2.2 million in 1965 from the albums including Bringing It All Back Home and Highway 61 Revisited. The singer released the album titled Blonde on Blonde in 1966 and earned $2.3 million. The compilation album titled Bob Dylan's Greatest Hits helped Bob earn $5.2 million in 1967. 2 years later, he earned $1.15 million from Nashville Skyline. The next year, Bob released 2 albums, New Morning and Self-Portrait, and earned $1 million. In 1974, the singer earned more than $1 million from the album called Before the Flood. The next year, he reportedly earned more than $3 million. In 2014, he released the compilation album titled The 50th Anniversary Collection, 1964, and earned $1 million from this album. Last year, the singer sold 100% of his music catalog to Universal Music Publishing Group for $300 million. The total net worth of Bob Dylan is $350 million. Although Bob has properties across the globe, he primarily lives in his house in Point Dume, Malibu, California. Bob Dylan owns the following cars and motorcycles: a Harley Davidson, a 1962 Ford wagon, a 1966 Ford Mustang convertible, a Triumph 500 motorcycle.